Yo, what is up YouTube? It is Nate here coming at you with a brand new video on the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a 3D motion tracking tutorial in After Effects. Now a lot of people may think this is really hard because After Effects is very intimidating, but once you get like the basics down, everything starts to like come together. But trust me, I'm going to make this tutorial as easy as possible. So to start off, what you're going to do is you're going to make a new composition. Usually I just name mine. I'm just going to name it 3D text tutorial. You want to make sure you have lock aspect ratio on, and usually I have my clips in 1440p 60. So to start off, what you're going to do, you're going to go up to this little tab that says project, hit that, and then you're going to right click, hit import file, and then what you're going to do is you're going to find your cinematic. So just as a reminder, you want to visualize what you're motion tracking in your head, because if you just do any type of cinematic, sometimes it doesn't work, or if it's too glitchy or stuttery, it won't look as good. So when you're getting your cinematics, I definitely recommend you use a controller. Me personally, I don't use a controller because I don't have one at the moment. So pretty much all of my montages I've done with mouse and keyboard, which is not the way to go because a lot of my 3D text in some of my videos have been looking like a little bit choppy. But one of my videos that's going to be coming up is going to be my Riven editing RC. I'll go ahead and show you guys a preview of what that's going to look like.
Start gazing, I've been inside a spaceship. Shawty hit me back, got me feeling like I made it. Oh, you fake bitch, only wanna fuck because I'm famous. I've been on my mind, I'm too wasted.
So pretty much I used the Riven logo and I 3D tracked that into the montage. If you guys want me to do a 3D logo motion tracking tutorial, just let me know in the comment section below. So once you import the file, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to where you saved your cinematic. I saved mine on the desktop just for this video. And then it's going to show up right here. What you're going to do, you're just going to drag down. The cinematic is not fully cut up. This is just like a creative clip on one of the builds. So pretty much what you're going to do is wherever your cinematic starts, you're going to start it at that point, and then you're going to hit B. So let me find out where mine starts. So mine starts about right here. So I'm going to hit B. Then I'm gonna go to like right here and then hit N. And then you're gonna right click and hit trim comp to work area. So now that cinematic is all trimmed up, what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click and then you're gonna hit track and stabilize, and you're gonna hit track camera. So once you hit track camera, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna go to advanced and then hit detailed analysis. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna find all the tracking points in the cinematic. Okay, so pretty much once it's done, it's gonna say solving camera in like this orange, and then if you get like a red like error message or like a banner, you can just hit hide warning banner right here. All of these points right here are tracking points. Okay, so once I rendered the video out, it's a lot easier for me to see which points are which. I mean, it's a lot of them. Usually what I like to do is I like to pick one or focus on a particular point where I want it to be, and if it disappears, then I won't use that point. But if it stays throughout the entire cinematic, then I'll use it. Okay, so I found my particular point, and it's gonna be right here. It's a small green one. It actually goes throughout the entire cinematic and it doesn't disappear. That's what you want to look for. That's how you know that it's fully motion tracked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna right click and hit create null in camera. So once you created your point, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to new, or you're gonna right click, go to new text. I'm just gonna name it tutorial. You can use whatever font you want, but I'm gonna leave some font suggestions in the description box below so you guys can check out some fonts for yourself. Pretty much once you have your tutorial, you can, you know, resize it, do whatever you want with it, but I'm just gonna keep with this size and this font. Then once you create your text, you're gonna create a new solid, and I just like to name mine 3D. Just make sure when you make this, it's the right aspect ratio. So the most crucial part of this video is you're going to need the element plugin. I will link a link to it in the description below if you guys want to go download it for yourself. Without the element plugin, you will not be able to 3D motion track. So once you selected 3D, you're going to go up to effect, and then you're going to come down to video copilot and then hit element. So pretty much we haven't made our custom layer. Pretty much what we need to do is we need to get a good visualization of like the environment so it can pick up like the shadows and the reflection of the map. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a good spot where you think it would fit good in the environment. Go to your actual replay. You're gonna hit Control C, and then you're gonna hit Control V, and that's just gonna copy and paste it and make 2 of them. So the first one, once you found the frame where you want your environment to be, you're gonna right click, hit time, and then you're gonna hit freeze frame. Once you do that, this 3D banner might come up. Just ignore that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna rename the one that you freeze framed to ENV, and then after that you're just going to hide it away. So after you do that, you're gonna go to your 3D layer, and then you're gonna go up to custom texture maps. So layer 1 where it says none, you're gonna change that to your environment layer. Then you're gonna come up to custom text and mask, and you're gonna go ahead and put your text layer on that. Also, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down to render settings, and then physical environment where it says override layer, you're gonna change that to your environment layer. So pretty much once you're done with all of that, you're gonna go ahead and hit scene setup. Now your 3D text isn't gonna show up right here, but to make it show up, you're gonna hit the extrude button, and then it should come up. So pretty much if you come down here to where it says extrusion model, you can go ahead and change the bevel scale, which is how thick it is. I'll do it about right there. Pretty much with the element plugin, it already comes with a bunch of different masks that you can put on top of your 3D text. But what I have is I have the elite shaders. I will also link that in the description below if you guys want to go check that out. It just gives you a lot more variety. Sometimes I like using these, but sometimes I don't, because some of them don't really match for what projects I use. So I just use like the basic element ones. My favorite is chrome, gold, and I kind of like the paint red. The paint red is really nice too. But for this tutorial, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the chrome. Yeah, once you have your 3D text all ready to go, you're just gonna hit OK, and it's gonna show up right here. So the 3D text is actually not on our tracked point. So to make it on our tracked point, you're gonna come down to your track null, and then you're gonna hit P, which is the position of your tracked null, and then you're gonna come up to the 3D layer, and then you're gonna hit group 1. You're gonna hit particle replicator, and where it says position XY and then position Z, you're gonna copy and paste these values onto these values. So once you do that, it's gonna be on the tracked point. It's extremely hard to see just because it is so small. It's very small. So once you do all of that, you can just go ahead and mess around with it. So you can change where, like, the position, you can kind of see it move in the background, but to make it bigger, go to particle look, and then where it says particle size, you're just gonna up the size, and that makes it bigger. There's also particle rotation if you want to rotate the text in any way. So pretty much playing it from the beginning, it looks like it's like stuck partially into the wall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it out. So to bring it out, I'm gonna use the position Z to bring it out a little more, and then I'm probably gonna move it over to the left a little bit, and then I'm just gonna play that back. Okay, I'm gonna move it over just a little bit more. Okay, overall, this is a really good position. It's like literally perfectly centered, and it's perfectly motion tracked too. If you want to add shadows to your 3D text, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down to render settings, and then you're gonna go to ambient occlusion, enable it. You can't really see it just because the shadows are a little weird. There's not many because of like the little purple accents in the cinematic. But if you want to add it in your case, then just hit enable AO, and then I just do SSAO, and then your quality. So with this, I usually do ultra. It makes your cinematic look a lot better when it's fully rendered. However, the rest of these don't give as much detail. Just note that it may take a lot longer to render if you do ultra or high. Pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna crank this up. You can't really see it that much. You can kind of see it a little bit, so I'm not gonna put that much. I'm probably gonna put like 20.5, and then that's the intensity of the shadow that you want on it. But you can also spread out the shadow. The tutorial text, you can just go ahead down here and hide it. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need it anymore. Also, if your particular cinematic was like in the sun, say for instance, then what you can do is you can go up to lighting, and then where it says add lighting, you can choose like different lighting presets. Usually I recommend either sun or sunset. it doesn't really make a difference in this cinematic just because it is kind of a darker cinematic. If you just want it motion tracked like this, then you're pretty much done. However, in some of my videos, you do see the text rotated and then it like slowly comes back together. I'm going to show you guys how to do that if you guys want to do that. However, if you just want it still like this, just go ahead and render it out and you're pretty much done. Okay, so if you do want your text to rotate, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go up to particle rotation, and then you're gonna drop it down. You should see an option where it says multi-object. So once you enable multi-object right here, it's gonna bring this huge drop-down menu. Now don't be scared. It's a lot, but you're really only gonna be doing one thing. So what you're gonna want to do is you're going to find the one that says rotation random multi, and you're gonna keyframe it with this little clock right here. Then you're gonna go ahead and find that keyframe. The keyframe is right here. And then you're going to this value right here, you're going to turn up. And as you can see, it rotates the text. So, I mean, this is pretty much like if you use Sony Vegas, then you should know how to keyframe. It's pretty simple. Set your value to whatever you want it to be. Then you're going to go to where you want it to like slow down. I'm going to do it right here. And then you're going to change the value back to 0. And then it makes another keyframe right here. Then if we just go ahead and render that out. Okay, as you can see, it starts off like this, and then it slowly goes back in. But if you want to make it longer, you just drag the keyframe out a little more, and it makes, or it takes a little more time for it to actually straighten out. And after that, you're pretty much done. Now I'm gonna show you guys my render settings as I go to composition, and then I add it to Adobe Media Encoder queue. Now, if you don't have Adobe Media Encoder, I suggest you get it because it's so much easier than adding it to render queue. Sometimes adding it to render queue doesn't give you all of the codecs. So instead, I just add it to Adobe Media Encoder queue. So pretty much once it opens up, just give it some time, and then your project should pop up right here. Yep. So it pops up, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit output file and then just save it wherever you want. And then what I use is I use H.264. I have an AMD card. I mean, it may be different for you. You might have like H.265, or I don't know, you might be able to use like the QuickTime encoder. Now my preset is 1440p 60. So what I have it as, I just have my comp settings right here. I also render at maximum depth, and I changed this to VR Pass 1 or VBR Pass 1, and my bitrate is always at 70, or in Vegas it's like 70 million or something like that. The bitrate plays a big role in your cinematic or in a video in general. It makes the video a lot cleaner and sharper. And then after that, I use a maximum render quality. That's just to get the best quality out of it. Sometimes when I'm editing certain cinematics and I want to render them and edit them in Vegas, it'll like fade out into like a black. So this pretty much trims the comp. So if you want, you can trim it. But yeah, since it shows the entire cinematic, I'm not going to trim it at all. So I'm just going to hit OK. And then I'm going to come up here and then hit this green play button. So I'm going to show the final product at the end of this video. But first, I want to thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. I wanted to do like a 300 subscriber special or something like that, but I think I'll probably wait till I hit like 500 or 1,000 subs. I've been getting a lot of comments saying that you guys wanted another like tutorial. Also, if you guys want to follow me on my socials, my Twitter, my Instagram, Snapchat, all of that is going to be in the description below. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video if it helped you out in any way, shape, or form. A subscribe is very appreciated. Also, want to apologize for not being as active as I usually am because I did recently get a job, so I don't really have a lot of time to edit anymore, but now I have a decent schedule going, so I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping these videos out a lot more frequently. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.